Hey, I'm Nicholas Prom,
I'm Chase.
And I'm Dylan.
and you're watching Posers Must
Posers
Die.
must die.
Yeah. So, hey guys, how's it going? Pretty good.
Pretty good, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Chase, your condition is improving. I'm glad that your recovery is progressing right along. That's excellent. Uh,
Thank you.
yeah. Always well wishes for my best friend. But hey guys, so last night I went to a show. Uh, I saw Atomic Terror and LUICIDAL uh, on the Metal Mania show, which is a heavy metal bands plus wrestling uh, event, and it was really fun. Uh, this show was sold out, so that was cool. Um,
Very cool.
there was another opener. There was this band called The Hajj, Hajj, and it was sort of like a weird punk thing, like Butthole Surfers or like Dead Milkmen, kind of oddball shit. Not really my thing, but whatever. I wish people well in their musical endeavors. Uh, but yeah, Atomic Terror played to a packed room, and that was cool.
All right.
That was
We
great
love
for
to see
them.
it.
Yep, and they sold a bunch of merch, and that's really cool. I full disclosure, uh, back in December, they asked me to manage them, and I have been doing that. I just yes, we cover them on the show, and I just like full yes, I manage this band. So I whatever. Uh, but really excited that I was able to get them this gig and that it was a roaring success. And then the wrestling was fun, you know. And what's happened here? Uh, but yes, and then Louis Seidel, comprised of mainly of former members of Suicidal Tendencies, were great and had a really fun set of songs from the first three Suicidal albums. Uh, Very fun show. So this was just a great night of thrash metal and fun. So that was cool. Uh, uh,
Was this sort of like Cess Fest where a band plays, then they do wrestling, then a band plays, then off and on, or
yeah, yeah, they did that.
okay,
And
right?
it was really interesting, though. Yeah, we saw some wrestling and from this promotion at the Cess Fest, or the Fourth of July kind of punk and metal festival. But it was really interesting. So they perform without a ring, obviously. But what they do is like, so these wrestling matches take place on like the show floor where people would stand like to watch bands. But
Mm-hmm.
like the fights go on into the bathroom, out into the bar area. I shit you not.
Wow.
It was really interesting. And but no, it was very cool. It was a lot of fun on a lot of levels, and yeah, good times. Good, a really fun evening. Um, but
Yeah, I'm sad I missed that one.
Yeah, Metal Mania is something that happens in Portland like every month or so. So there's always another one coming up. There's another one in April, April 4th, which isn't your birthday, Dylan?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well then there you go. There's a Metal Mania show waiting for you. Uh, uh, but yeah, so that was cool. That was a cool time. Um, but we have got some album reviews to do. We're going to tweak the format oh so slightly today. We're going to do Chase's classic album first, and the reason behind that will become very clear very soon. So get right into that. Chase, what was your classic pick for this week?
Well, this week we got Accept's Balls to the Wall, released in 1983.
Yeah.
I believe we've heard these guys before. Kind of a big deal. Yeah. Same joke from the Black Sabbath one. Just recycle that one. Here we are. Oh yeah, here we
Yeah.
go.
Well, it's
But
funny. Have spent a lot of time in my life with this album. Weirdly enough, in high school, I was like, and also this was the '90s, and Accept's profile in the mid to late 90s could not have been lower, especially in the United States. But I was a massive Accept fan in high school and beyond. Like, I had a bunch of Accept cassettes, and like I was more into them than like Priest or Scorpions, who I liked just fine, but had like a couple albums apiece from. It's weird. But I really glommed onto Accept. I love the shit out of this band. I have listened to this album a lot, and it is great. I would say most people would put this, either this or the album that precedes it, Restless and Wild, in like top 10 like traditional metal albums. Like it would make many people's lists. I'll say that. It's a great record, and I blame Udo Dirkschneider for giving me the notion that that camouflage was somehow metal, and I wore like camo pants, jackets, and shorts for years. But yeah. But I forgive you, Udo, because this band just rules, and this album is awesome. I mean, like songs like "Balls to the Wall" is a massive hit song, and along with stuff like "London Leather Boys" and "Losers and Winners," "Love Child." This is just chock full of classics, just fabulous classic heavy metal. What do you guys think?
This is one of those albums where almost every track reminds me of like That Alley in Death Wish, where you're about to be gunned down. You know what I'm talking about? It's like
Yeah.
right, hit with the switchblade. Your money in your life. Yeah, fuck yeah. Every track except for losing more than you ever had sounds more like like they left it off with Pyromania. I'm not saying that's
Interesting.
bad or anything,
Okay.
but other than that,
Interesting.
it's not that dangerous like Warriors or Death Wish. Yeah, sort of a grimy vibe that I love. London Leather Boys turned me on, and of course, Balls to the Wall. Favorite tracks. Full stop. Good shit.
Awesome. Dylan.
Yeah. I've heard a few songs off here before, but because I'm a young little shit, this is my first time listening to the whole album, and I love this. It was great. I loved a lot of the songs on here, but highlights for me are, of course, Balls to the Wall, fucking classic, but I really like the song Fight It Back and
Yeah.
Love Child.
Yeah.
Those are my three favorites off of here. But this is just classic. Like, I mean, it's heavy metal, but it's like easy to listen to. Like, if you're having a shitty day, put on the Balls to the Wall album, just chill out. This is good shit. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, like, Germany is like, man, what a, like, other than England, maybe the greatest like progenitor like country to give the world great heavy metal. Accept and Scorpions being like the great, the most prime examples, but like obviously like carrying the flag and inspiring like the huge wave of thrash and power metal bands that came out of Germany in the 80s. And these guys are gods. Wolf Hoffman's one of the greatest guitarists in heavy metal, hands down. This band is just incredible. I have said like, wow, if you can't get enough Judas Priest, like, good news, there's this band Accept. But yeah, it sounds like if you swapped Halford out for Brian Johnson, is a bit like what Accept is like. But they also, I shouldn't like really say that they're so like Judas Priest. They're similar to Judas Priest because they really do have their own thing. There are real like accepty things. I would never like hear a song and mistake it for Judas Priest or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
But they're definitely in a similar heavy metal template, and I can't go wrong with it. I remember like getting a lot of those like K-Tel metal compilations, and they'd always be like 8 to 10 heavy metal songs, and without fail you would have a song or two from Accept, Priest, Scorpions, or Dio. Like 3 of those 4 bands would be on like all of those. And so like they were just like a real staple of like traditional metal for me. Um, because I just love like I love compilation albums too. But anyway, that's just like they were a really important band in my heavy metal education. You know, they were one of the first ones outside of the Usual Suspects or the bands that you would hear on the radio. They were just a bit slightly more obscure for me, and I just embrace this band wholeheartedly. Love, accept. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a great record. And interestingly enough, we have our new album to discuss for this week. Is has strong ties to this. Udo Dirkschneider, former Accept vocalist. He has his band DIRKSCHNEIDER. That I should give a little history. In 1987, he left Accept and went solo with the band UDO, and has had a long solo career. And he went back to Accept for a few albums in the 90s, and then they broke up again, or they parted ways again for good. But the band UDO, Udo decided at some point, he's like, no, we're not going to play Accept songs anymore. We're just going to play UDO songs. And so then he created the band DIRKSCHNEIDER for concert engagements when people were like, can we get an Accept set? Which is like making his life more complicated than it has to be. Like he could just play a few Accept songs
Like,
in a UDO set and people would be happy. But whatever. So there's the band DIRKSCHNEIDER, and this is the first and so far only studio recording from DIRKSCHNEIDER. There's a couple live albums, which of course are comprised of Accept classics. This album is interesting. Balls to the Wall Reloaded. Chase, what's the label and when's this coming out? I'm so sorry.
Okay, I could not find what label it's being released under. If you type in, DIRKSCHNEIDER Metallum or whatever, it takes you to a dead page. It comes out on the 28th of February.
Okay.
But that's it. So I guess they're releasing it independently.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
But
if I figure it out, I'll link the comments or something.
okay. Yeah. It's okay. But at any rate, Udo did an interesting thing with this. It's a re-recording of Balls to the Wall, obviously with other musicians in the DIRKSCHNEIDER band, but every track is a duet with another metal vocalist, most of which are like classic 80s guys. And so let's get into this conversation. I will say, I think this album is an amusing diversion at best. It's certainly not going to unseat the original Balls to the Wall, but it's a fun little companion. It can be enjoyed on its own, but I don't think people are really going to be like, oh man, keep coming back to the well on this one, But yeah, let's talk about each track and the guest vocalist for each one, starting with Balls to the Wall. And who's the guest on that one, Chase? It's Joaquin.
Broden from Sabaton, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't love this version.
Me either.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fine. Dylan, what'd you think, man?
I liked it. I thought it was epic.
Cool.
I mean, granted, I don't listen to Sabaton a ton, but I do really
Same.
like them.
Sure.
They were kind of influential for me, like when I was really young, getting into metal, and I don't listen to them too much anymore. But I liked this rendition of Balls to the Wall with his vocals. It was very fucking cool. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, good. I'm glad, and I like that guy's voice. I don't know. I think the mesh on some of these tracks just doesn't gel for me. And so it's just not really a huge value judgment I'm trying to make here, but
yeah. My thought, I'll just get this out of the way now. I actually, there wasn't really a whole lot about this album that I actually liked. It was just a bunch of ideas that didn't really work out, but would have been okay in other aspects. Like if this was like a one night only Udo Aid benefit concert or something like that, this would be amazing. like a live duet between all these people, like Arion style, or sometimes Maiden does stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
that would have been cool. But as like an album, I'm just like fucking bored.
yeah.
But
I will give you that, and
yeah,
and I agree. Like, if this was a live album and it was a special event with all these guests, I think I would appreciate this more for sure.
yeah,
But let's go
exactly.
through. I mean, track 2, we've got London Leather Boys with Biff Bifford from Saxon, and that's a fun version.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah. But all it did was make me want to hear a Fiora Saxon cover of London Leather Boys. So
Right. It's kind of like this album is like neither fish nor fowl. It's like it doesn't deliver on what I want, but it also doesn't like, but it's not like ear poison either. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's so it's sort of frustrating. Um, but I did have some fun like trying to absorb this and gain some appreciation. What's the next track? Who's the guest vocalist? Is that
It's Fight It Back with the guy from Creator.
oh, Millie Petrosa from Creator? That's
Yeah,
right. I thought this was a cool version. I liked this was one of the highlights of the album
Yeah.
for me.
I liked it
yeah,
too.
yeah. No, I agree completely there.
Yeah.
It
Not
kept the grimy, you're gonna get stabbed feeling that a lot of this actually ended up because it's very slick. The whole thing is very
yeah.
slick and but this song in particular kept the grime, and I liked that.
Yeah. Let's just keep going through the tracks, Chase. I like this.
Yeah. Okay, and we got Head Over Heels with Niles Mullen or
Who
Nils Mullen.
who I do not know who that is. It was an okay
Me either.
version. It was all right.
I don't
Yeah,
know
it was
who
a,
that guy is, but he sounded like Dio to me. Like
he
Interesting.
had
I had to look him up. I'm like, did this guy like replace Dio or something? Is there like a Dio cover band that has this guy? And I look him up and he's in a band I don't know, but he
Okay.
really sounded a lot like Dio to me.
Yeah.
I was kind of tripping out listening to
he didn't
that
sound
version.
Yeah.
bad at all, but
No, it
their
was
voices
fine.
didn't quite connect.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Anyway,
they don't all work. And yeah, there's
yeah.
a couple of guests on here that are like, who? But most of them are pretty familiar names. What's the next one, Chase?
We got Losing More Than You Ever Had featuring Michael Kiske.
Yeah, from
Uh,
Halloween.
and yes.
This was one of the highlights of the record for me.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of understated, but I thought the juxtaposition of Kiske's very like clean, beautiful voice, and Udo's, which is pretty rough or rougher, gravelly, was interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also I and I don't want to pick on an old man. Udo's in his 70s now, and it's just like, but like similarly to Bob Dylan, like a guy who works in a kind of a gruff vocal style. The timbre of his voice has changed over the years, and it's kind of I want to say kind of muddied. Like the kind of uh, the range and the variation of intonation and things that Udo does do. So it kind of like I don't know. It's a detraction for me. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. How about the next song, man?
Love Child featuring
Oh, is that girl?
something Eric. Yeah, yeah, that gal.
That girl. Yeah, nice voice. This worked okay. I wasn't like in love with it, but I would say serviceable. It was all right.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next we got Turn Me On featuring Danko Jones, which I didn't really care for that one, but
Yeah, that one was like whatever. Danko Jones is a name that has just like that I've seen around for like years, and I'm just like, why do I know this guy's name? Like I just don't get it. Like, so I mean, whatever. What's the next one, man?
uh, Losers and Winners featuring Dee Snider.
Yeah, which I had to really listen to even like catch that was Dee Snider. You know what I mean? Like I had to listen hard to like
Yeah.
distinguish that he was in it. And I'll say on this track, on the album, there was a guest that I would have thought was just a given, and who an absence that surprised me, and would have been perfect for this track, and that is John Gallagher from Raven.
Oh shit! Yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah, because okay, and a little history. So, Raven's probably most revered album, All for One, was co-produced by Udo Dirkschneider. You know, there's a friendship between these two bands. Accept and or Udo and Raven, and then and following that album, there was Raven put out a 12-inch single where Udo did a couple of duets with John, a song called Inquisitor and a cover of Born to Be Wild, which rules, dude.
Nice.
But yeah, so I was really kind of like, oh man, D. Snyder, okay, but man, John Gallagher would have made this song just like, there would have been an amazing version of this. So that's a disappointment. But yeah, and then what's the next one, Chase? Oh, Dylan, sorry, he's got something. Sorry.
Dylan?
I'm not head over heels for the original version of Losers and Winners.
Uh-huh.
But I found a little bit more enjoyment from this version with D. Snyder because I really like Twisted Sister.
Okay.
So I guess I just liked it a bit more.
Okay.
That's all
Okay.
I have to say about that. It was fun.
Cool. Yeah, and it's not bad. I'm just thinking like, oh man, John Gallagher would have literally taken it over the top because like, how could he not? But okay, cool.
Next track, we got Guardian of the Night featuring Tim Ripper Owen.
This was a cool one. I thought this was a pretty decent track. Kind of middle of the road as far as like, you know, good to bad tracks on the album, but closer to a highlight, I would say.
It didn't really excite me. I think it was like listening to it sequentially. I just got to the end and I was tired and kind of waiting for it to just kind of be over.
Sure.
I think it just kind of wore me down.
Yeah. And then we've got one more track, right? It's Winter Dreams, right?
Yep, with Doro.
Yeah. And so that's a perfect choice, and an expected choice, to be honest. Here's the thing, they Doro and Udo have a decades-long friendship, and
Yep.
You can set your watch to this. If they are both booked on a festival, there will be a duet performance between the two of them. It's just a thing, and they've done a bunch of them, and I love it. And Doro is definitely, we love to support women in metal, and Doro is like, one of the the prime examples, one of the greats in all of heavy metal, not just female voices, but just metal voice. She does. And don't sleep on those Warlock albums, man. They're good shit, really good. What'd you have, Chase? Sorry.
And yeah.
I'm sorry? What?
No, that was Balls to the Walls Reloaded.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't. This is not an essential release, but as a curiosity, worth checking out. It's like, it's kind of weird to do basically do a tribute album to yourself.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I don't think this is a great record. I probably will never come back to this, but it was an amusing little detour, and I did have fun exploring this. And if anything, it's just deepened my love for the original album. So, I mean, call that a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dylan, Chase, what is your you guys overall takeaway?
I just saw this as I saw it as a novelty, not in a bad way, just I agree with what you were saying, Nick, but I just saw it as just some people, some famous musicians, in the metal world getting together, just having a good time, just they're passionate about these songs and they just wanted to make something fun. They, it's not super important, like you were saying. It's not album of the year or any fucking thing like that. It was just something fun to do,
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
Dylan, that is the perfect attitude to come to a release like this. This this album is not going to move the needle in one way or another about Udo Dirkschneider or Accept or anybody playing on this album, but it's kind of neat, and I'm not mad they did it. But yeah, okay, cool. Sounds like we have covered that ground thoroughly. Why don't we move on to Dylan's Demolition? And you got a doozy for us this week, man.
Oh yes, I have chosen a demo from a band called Plague Allegiance. This is a 1990 demo. These guys are a thrash outfit from Texas.
The Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yes, much like the last demo I picked, this is obscure as shit. These guys only released like 2 demos, and then they just disappeared into the aether. Who knows what happened to them? Yeah. But damn, I fucking love this shit.
Dude, me too.
This remind me of like Death Angel mixed with Anthrax, I'm kind of quoting the guy that uploaded the video.
Yeah.
He put it great. But what did you guys think about this?
I thought this fucking ruled, dude. This is so raging. And it is like kind of a really great blend of a really accessible thrash like Death Angel and Anthrax, okay? While also pushing the boundaries of extremity and aggression and technicality like Dark Angel or Sadus or something. And
yes,
right there, and it's like kind of this perfect like, I don't want to say middle ground because that makes it sound like a kind of a lukewarm thing, but it is just some seriously satisfying thrash metal. This kicks ass. I love this. Chase, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I was like, okay, so the guitarists love Anthrax. I can tell that like right off the bat. Like, one of them sleeps with spreading the disease under their mattress. Loves Anthrax. But no, I fucking loved it. No, yeah, accessible and fucking like thrash your fucking face off. Part of mine. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's raging, dude.
The other note I have is I'm guessing the drummer was also the mixer. Holy shit.
Yeah,
went the hell up there.
Yeah.
Not complaining, though.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I do like, especially on a thrash record, where the drums are not buried in the mix, where they're kind of more up front, because I think that's heavy. I think, again, we talked about, like, thrash metal production, or metal production in the 80s, and it's like a lot of independent stuff. The production ends up being like really weird because they go to somebody who doesn't know anything about heavy metal, especially thrash metal, and getting the mix right is just like, sometimes the end result is kind of an odd sounding thing. Even pro bands, like I can't remember if it's their first or second album, but Artillery, as an example, whatever album the song The Almighty is on, I think it's on Fear of Tomorrow, I think that's the first one, but like the vocals are like so high in the mix, it's like, why did you like mix this like a pop record? Because they went to somebody who didn't know anything about heavy metal. But yeah, again, give me drums higher in the mix, please. I love that. So no complaints on this. This just ruled. I love this. So 10 out of 10, man.
This is really interesting. The vocals are specifically very interesting to me because
yeah,
unlike normal thrash, I mean, we have 100% thrash instrumentals here, but these vocals are kind of crossover-y or punky. Like they're just kind of talking, like shouting. They're not really growling or anything like
right.
that. And it's just I've been addicted to this. I've listened to this 6 times this week. Somebody help me.
Yeah, no, this is great. I listened to it a bunch this week too, and like, man, it's a shame these guys didn't cut an album because, or didn't get to because really this is good stuff, and I want to go check out their second demo too, which I'm sure I will enjoy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, really good shit, man. Uh,
Yeah. The opener, "Bury the Whip," I fucking love that song.
oh
"Bury the Whip."
yeah, yeah,
That midsection where they, I don't know what that little riff is they do during the
yeah.
chorus.
But
Oh,
yeah,
good shit.
no, this is really really good. Um, yeah, excellent pick, man. Um, yeah, why don't we move on to Hardcore Hall of Fame?
All right.
What do you got
And,
for us, Nick?
oh man, this week I chose ANTISECT. In Darkness, There Is No Choice. This is a UK crust punk group. This is from 1984, and man, this kicks ass. You like your amoebics? You like your discharge? This is gonna sit right between there. Um, uh, and you're gonna love this. This is really cool. I just like this a lot. What do you guys think?
I was surprised. I didn't know crust punk came in grimdark. So I no,
It
like this is
does.
like this constant over like this oppressive tone through beginning to end that like I was not expecting, but was not unwelcome. Um, uh, uh, like I noticed a few themes throughout the album, like how they tend to like animals apparently,
Yeah.
you know, and can't argue. You know, I don't know. Take it away from me, somebody.
Dylan, what do you have,
No,
man?
dude, this ruled.
Oh,
Exactly
good.
how Chase put it. I was like, I was a bit confused listening to this. I'm like, is this like, yeah, grimdark? What is this, like gothic? It's almost like blackened punk a bit, like just aesthetically is what I mean.
Sure, yeah.
Um, but it was. I fucking love this. Highlights for me. I have quite a few here. The opener, Channel
Yeah.
Zero, Tortured and
Yeah,
Abused, Education or Indoctrination. Ooh, that was
yeah,
fucking good. And In
yeah,
Darkness. A lot of good tracks on here. Classic sounding punk, very fun. Enjoyed it a lot.
yeah. I just I love how like into social uh, um, issues and how political and how about like world issues like things about like animal rights and the Cold War and all of this stuff that we get from 80s punk. I just love how not superficial uh, uh, the subject matter is. Uh,
How sadly timeless a lot of it is. Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, it still carries over today the things that they're talking about. Um, but man, I love shit like this. And yeah, apparently we are finding that crust punk just has this goth thing baked in. You know, uh,
Well, these
uh,
guys especially.
yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Uh, but uh, but yeah, I this just ruled. I really like this. I honestly, this was a totally new band to me. I had not really checked them out before selecting this for the week. But I'm glad I got on this because I really like these guys.
no.
So
Good
yeah,
find. Good find.
This deserves a place in the Hardcore Hall of Fame.
fuck yeah, right on, cool. Well, awesome. I'm glad we all like this. Um, Uh, cool. Yeah, why don't we move on to our songs of the week? And Chase is up first this week. What do you have for us, man?
Okay, we got The Massacre by These Are They off of the 2010 release Disposing of Betrayers. First of all, this whole fucking album is 420 out of 69, but I'm not going to go off on the album. Just this one song. Easily my favorite song about Valentine's Day, but I can't really think of many others.
Same.
Granted, it's not about Valentine's Day, but the events of the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. The whole album is essentially. Damn it! Oh, I said I wasn't going to do that.
It's okay. It's okay.
But no, no. The song is great. It's brutal. Like you feel it, and
Yeah.
the chorus is walking you through the aftermath, how many rounds were shot, the bodies that were left behind. Holy shit, God, I love this fucking song and the album. The album's great. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, so this was a new band for me, but pretty impressive tech death. Uh, yeah, it's I don't know. There's a there's a coldness that comes along with the once we get to the very Pro Tooled produced era of death metal, which is we're firmly in 2010. Uh,
yeah,
but I still appreciated this. I mean, like the brutality is there. It's just everything is really clear, and it's interesting.
yeah.
I think a lot of the death metal we like might have a little bit of dirt in it. You know,
Yeah.
but this was like I don't know. It's had a different kind of flavor to it, which I appreciated. Dylan, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I really liked this song. Very heavy, very brutal. This was also a first for me. I've never heard of this band, but I enjoyed it. Uh, and this is one of those things where like I've never heard this, but it gives me a certain nostalgia for like the death metal that kids that were older than me were listening to when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And all I
Okay.
was listening to was like Dio, and these kids were listening to this shit, and it had like a parental advisory sticker on it, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Are you allowed to listen to this?" Like,
Oh,
so I don't know. I enjoyed it. Great pick.
Okay. Well, right on. My song for this week, I chose "Eagles Fly Free" by Halloween from the 1988 album "Keeper of the Seven Keys" Part Two, and I just love this song. It is an anthem. It is just uplifting and hopeful, and this song totally rules. It's beautiful and kick-ass, which is a kind of a neat trick to pull. um,
yes, yes.
but I love the message that of this song is like, look, if humanity could get our act together, we could stop fighting and work together, we could live in the best of all possible worlds, where every person on earth lives in peace and freedom with liberty and dignity for everyone. And like, fuck, what a thing to strive for, you know? Uh, but yeah, this rules. You guys, take it away.
You took the words out of my mouth, essentially. So I guess what I have left here is it's classic fucking Halloween. You can't help but love it. Uh, that bass solo 3 minutes in always catches me off guard, but I fucking love it. And then the drum solo right after. Fuck, I love Halloween. Dylan, what about you, man?
I didn't read into the lyrics of this too much. I was kind of just enjoying the music, but you guys know I'm not too crazy about Halloween, but you guys are kind of turning me into a Halloween enjoyer.
Yay!
This was a pretty good song. This is pure power metal, like the
Oh, it
honey
is.
of
Yeah.
power metal. Very good, very upbeat, happy, fun, heavy metal. We love it.
Yeah, awesome, dude. I'm glad you like this, man, and I'm glad that we're slowly bringing you over to this side, the Halloween side.
Sticking your tendrils into me.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yes.
I'm gonna have to listen to some more Halloween though. I'm getting into
Yes,
this.
you will.
There you go. Honestly, if you go back to the Halloween EP and Walls of Jericho, I think that's going to be the stuff that's going to like unlock them for you, and then just go forward through the records, man. Um,
Good
but
advice.
yeah, um, yeah, because that early stuff is a bit more speed metally, and I think that's more, like
Yeah.
that'll be what like locks it down for you, I think. But yeah, right on. And let's talk about your song of the week, though, Dylan.
Yes. My song of the week is ED 209 from Lich King's album World Gone Dead. And
2010.
yes, I simply chose this song because I watched RoboCop for the 100th time this week. Uh, I and
As one does.
Every time I watch RoboCop, I think of this song and I think of that beautiful music video that Lich King put together
Mm.
with clips from RoboCop.
Yeah.
And the only way to beat him is just to take the stairs.
Yeah, just take the stairs. That's also this is also how you get away from Daleks. But
Good one.
yeah, but yeah, no, this song is fun. Love RoboCop. Lich King is a hoot and a holler. They're great. I hope I get to see them at some point.
Oh yeah, that would be killer.
Because they are really fun. Definitely one of the best bands of the thrash revival from the aughts.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's just a really fun song, a fun band. So give it up for Lich King, baby.
I can picture myself rolling down a dirty avenue in my 6000 SUX blaring this. So
Love that. Right on.
Yes.
All right, so an excellent round of songs of the week for this episode. I think we've just got some upcoming shows to talk about. So why don't we hit that? First, coming right up in about 2 weeks, February 26th at the Roseland Theater. Big old mixed bill, really, but it's pretty much a death metal show with Decapitated, death metal legends, Incantation, one of the Darkest Hour, one of the better metalcore groups, and Ex Mortis, who like firmly live in this tech thrash death zone. So did I say Immortus? I meant Ex Mortis. So yeah, that'll be great for all the folks who go. Yeah. A good time you will be having, and I'm jealous. I wish I could make it to this one, but c'est la vie. But the show the three of us will be at, will be the very next day, February 27th, Cavalera Conspiracy, doing an old school Sepultura set. This is going to be a rager. We are going to have a fucking blast at this. And of course, there will be some support from Necrot, death metalers, and Dead Heat, who will play an excellent crossover thrash metal. Very satisfying stuff.
Yep.
Being a cool ass time, baby. Let's see. And then fast forward to March 14th. We have, let's see, at Dante's, Warhead, not the 80s speed metal group, but a current thrash metal outfit, alongside speed metaler or traditional metalers, Show and Tell. Again, we'll be at the Roseland, I believe with, not the Roseland, Dante's. I believe with Battle Cattle and another local Portland act in support. That should be a fun time. Hey, you love to see it. Thrash metal, yay. That'll be cool. April 10th at the Hawthorne Theater, Warbringer, with direct support from Allegaon and Death Thrashers, Skeletal Remains, and a band called Summoning the Lich. That's going to be pretty raging time, I think, and I really want to go to this. I believe I can and shall. So there we are. Yeah, that's going to be at the Hawthorne Theater, April 10th. Go do it and be successful. Let's see. And then the very next night at the Twilight, this is a traditional metal and doom kind of a mixed bill. We've got Early Moods, Magic Potion, and Seductor. That should be a fun time for those who go. Let's see.
I keep wanting to say, when you bring up this show, if a band titled Magic Potion is not a doom band, I would be disappointed.
Right. And like, you know what? I need to check them out because I don't know for sure. But yeah, this should be cool. But yes. Oh, here's one not to be missed. April 17th, classic 80s heavy metal band, Heir Apparent, Northwest Legends, who have never before played Portland, are playing their first ever Portland show at the high watermark. It's a stacked bill of like power and traditional heavy metal with Tower Hill, Serpent Rider. Serpent Rider is great. And I Am the Intimidator. It's going to be at the high watermark, $20. I would get your tickets now because this might sell out. But that's going to be a dope time. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm interested in this one too, bro.
Yeah, very good. Fast forward the very next week over at the Blackwater, a venue we love. Look at this thrash and crossover speed metal show. This is totally stacked. Velocity thrash metal. PILAU. I don't know what that stands for, but whatever. They're crossover thrash. Blade, our local kind of speed heavy metal guys who we just love so much, and local kind of crossover hardcore Betrayer, who are rad. I saw their very first show a few weeks ago. Excellent. This show is going to kill. I will not miss this unless I am in a coma.
I'm gonna try to be there too. I'm really interested. I want to see Blade again.
Oh my God, Blade is so awesome. I want to
see Betrayer after that demo.
Yeah, but like, and then the touring acts, Velocity and PILAU. Oh man, this is gonna be a raging show. This show is gonna be kick ass. So definitely gonna be there for that. Then let's see, April 29th. At the Roseland Theater, Obituary, with support from Nails, Terror, Spirit World, and Pest Control. Man, nice. That is going to be a dope-ass time for the folks who are going to be there. I can't make it to this one. New job, can't get the next day off. Not in the cards. But that's going to be a rad show. Can't not talk about it. Let's see. And then... what's the month after April? May. May 11th. Persecutor, Vueltas, and Hadean will be at the High Watermark. This is a Sunday. Persecutor are a black and roll band. I'm not sure how I checked them out. I'm not sure how I feel about them just yet. Vuelas, my bad. Vuelas is a punk band of some kind, and then Hadean is traditional metal. This is I would say that's quite a mixed bill. But that should be a very interesting show. Gosh, if anybody we know is going to be able to make that one, please, I'll report back. I want to hear about this one. Okay. Interested. Well, there you go. I just can't really do a Sunday. So, and then June 3rd, at the Revolution Hall, Napalm Death, alongside the Melvins, with support from the Hard-Ons, Australian punk rock legends. That should be a dope time. I want to go to this. That should be cool, man. But yeah. That's I think that's about all we've got for this week. Chase, why don't you hit us with the sign-off, man?
Okay. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you're just a picture. It's an image caught in time.
Yeah.
That hits the horns.
There we go. Good night, everybody.